So Ohio State has to find out how to respond from its first loss of the season. With cleveland.com, I'm Stefan Krajisnik, that's Andrew Gillis, where Ohio State just lost here at Autzen Stadium 32-31 against Oregon. Like I said, the first loss of the season, now going into a bye week. Andrew, I ask you pretty simply, where does Ohio State go from here?
They have to figure out what in the world is wrong with the defense, because I wrote about this afterwards, and you can read that on cleveland.com. Going into the year, it was not us. It was not the national media. It was not even fans necessarily. We were all saying it, but it wasn't just us that was saying this defense is going to be historic. This defense is going to be elite. Ohio State players said that. They allowed 32 points in a game that Oregon left points on the field, because remember they had the botched extra point. And then they went for two that they didn't get, and then they got stopped at like the 2-yard line or the 1-yard line. Well. They got down to the 1-yard line down there. That was the field goal that set up that last drive for Ohio State. That's not what historic defenses do. I didn't think Denzel Burke had a very good game. I mean, let's just call it what it is. He did not play very well. Oregon kind of ran free in the secondary. They didn't get after the quarterback. 0 sacks, 2 quarterback hurries. This was supposed to be the backbone of this defense, right? This was supposed to be what made this defense, or what made this team great. What made this team national championship caliber. What made this team potentially, hey, if Will Howard figures it out, if this offense gets rolling, this could make this team amazing. This could make this defense, well, now it's not the case anymore. And you can't really use historic when those kind of things are happening. Dylan Gabriel, I think he threw for 341 yards. Oregon averaged 7.6 yards a play. That's just not good enough. Now, you're not going to play another offense like this. Nebraska doesn't have this offense. Penn State doesn't have this offense. I know Indiana's playing well, but they don't have this offense. Michigan is... we laugh. Michigan is having a lot of problems offensively. You're not going to see this type of offense until the Big Ten championship game, assuming that Ohio State gets there. Oregon now clearly in the driver's seat for that. And then it's who can get to that second spot. But you're not going to see this type of offense again. But the next time you do see this type of offense, it is going to be in a situation where it might be win or go home. It might be win, or you got to play 4 games and get to the national championship. So you have to figure out what's wrong with this defense and what went wrong with this defense. Maybe that's defensive line rotations we were talking about up there. The reason I have said so much is because there was so much that went wrong for this defense tonight. And if you're going to talk about what was going to lead this defense to a national championship, it was the defense, and it was not nearly good enough tonight. So you have got to fix that over the bye week.
Yeah, funny story about the defense real quick before I go into my point. It was about, I think, late in the second quarter. Right here on the big screen, they have the total yardage, things like that. And Andrew goes, man, Oregon's on pace for 460 yards. And I look at him and I do the math. I said, Andrew, they're on pace for 560 yards. I'm a
journalist, not a mathematician.
No, but I think this kind of goes with the defense. But I think kind of bigger picture, this bye week has to be a gut check moment for these veterans, right? The big thing we talked about is, as cool as it was that they got Caleb Downs and Will Howard and Quinshon Judkins and all these guys out of the portal, the biggest thing for Ohio State was getting guys like Jack Sawyer, JT Tuimoloau out back. Those guys are going to be tested now, right? Like, what is the identity of this team? What does this team have to bounce back from loss? You got some time to think about it now, right? Like, you can't let this carry over to Nebraska, because that would just be inexcusable for 2 weeks down the road to have this game carry. These veterans have to step up and take this team to that next level, to teach some of the younger players, the Jeremiah Smiths who haven't dealt with a loss at Ohio State, how do you flush it? Because there's a lot of noise out there now about this team. They're down, their flaws and whatever else comes with losing at Ohio State. These veterans have to step up and be the guys that take this team to the next level to reach the goals that you just referred to, that we had, that a lot of people had for this team. And they were the number 2 team in the country coming into the season. They were the number 2 team country coming into this game. Now they got to prove it. So make sure you keep up with our coverage at cleveland.com. Get the text 614-350-3315 and get Buckeye Talk wherever you listen to podcasts.